City, a lot been written about them, John. I know you're a big fan of Pep and who isn't in terms of what he's done for the English game, but I'm starting to look at their recent signings. I'm not just talking about this month, John.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you start to realise, and I know many pundits have said it, recruitment, you got to be so careful. You can have a purple patch where you get the recruitment spot on.
Yes.
But all it takes is you to get one or two slightly wrong for it to kind of fall away. And I'm looking at City, 5-1 at the weekend against Arsenal.
No one saw that one.
No one. I mean,
well, with the way they are right now,
I fancy Arsenal to win.
Yeah, I fancy Arsenal to win. Yeah, I knew they were going to get beaten by 5-1. Yeah.
I mean, massive.
Yeah.
We saw on transfer deadline day, Nico Gonzalez, young Spanish midfielder coming in from Porto. I think 9 goals and 9 assists in just over 60 games for Porto in the last kind of 2.5 years. He joined in the summer of 2023 from Barcelona. Big money spent on him.
Big money spent, yeah.
But you said to me off this pod, and you were right. Why wait till the end of the month to bring in?
Why wait? Finally, the one signing that everybody expected Pep Guardiola and Manchester City to make since the opening day of the transfer window, it's been made at the last day of the transfer window. That's a whole month late. If he had come in from the start of the transfer window, he would have played 2-3 games. I can bet you anything. Arsenal wouldn't have beaten them 5-1. Yes, maybe Arsenal would have won the game, but not 5-1. Because we can see the midfield. Listen, Kovacic, fantastic player on the ball. Gundogan, fantastic players on the ball. These guys are players who've achieved so much. Great players. But when you tell these players to play as a holding player, we've seen it. It cannot work. It doesn't work. Great players with the ball, but when you ask them to defend, to run back and chase players and make tackles, and they can't do it because that's not what they're used to. That's not their job. Gundogan is very good with arriving late in the box, scoring goals, creating chances. Kovacic is good with keeping the ball and getting the team ticking over. That's his job to play as a holding player. That is not his job. And we all expected Pep Guardiola from as soon as that door of the transfer window was open. We all thought that was a signing. Because that was a signing that would have moved the needle for City.
100%.
It would have moved the needle for this Manchester City side. It would have got them playing. Listen, the boy is not as good as Rodri. Nowhere near as good as Rodri. But it would have massively helped Manchester City. The games they've lost in this January, they wouldn't have lost most of those games. But Pep being Pep, very, very stubborn, sticks to what he knows and only what he knows and what he wants to do. But I must have to say, he's lost this battle because everybody's been saying, you have to sign another holding midfield player. But Pep being Pep, he wants to show everybody that, no, I'm going to win without Rodri. No, Pep.
You can't.
You can't.
Not with the composition.
I've always said it. With the whole thing works, the way the team is structured, Pep is a fantastic man. Listen, I don't even want to talk about how good he is. We know how fantastic Pep is. How he's changed the game, the way the changes he makes, his recruitment, everything about Pep is spot on. But I've said it, Rodri, for me, is the most important player for that club, for Manchester City. I've said it even before he got injured, before the start of the season. I've said it. So for me, that was the one transfer, that was the one signing that Manchester City would have done. But it's come a month later. So for me, I think it's a month lost. But hopefully now they can be able to regroup as a team and the way they want to play. Is this player as good as Rodri? Definitely not. I've watched some of his games, but I don't think he's as good as Rodri because what Rodri does for that football club, I don't think is replaceable. You can't replace that.
But he's a good player.
He's a good player. So I'm hoping that we get to the top 4. Chelsea, I hope the City keeps losing that. We are there, we get to the top 4. But, I just think this is a signing that's going to make City side much, much better.
I'm looking at that City team, John, and you and I had a conversation off air about where is it going wrong. It's 7 now league defeats in their last 15. To put that into context, last season they only lost 3. Season before that they lost 5. Season before that they lost 3. And their first Premier League title in this run of 4, they lost 6 in a season. So they've lost more in their last 15 league games than they have at any point across the last 4 seasons, which is a remarkable stat.
Yeah.
Matheus Nunes at right back, never a month of Tuesdays for me. Bernardo Silva, big fan. There's
Big
been
fan,
a
yeah.
huge drop-off there.
Yeah, not a midfield player.
Not in the position.
Not a number 6 sort of kind of. No, no.
Or at least he got away with it. Not now. De Bruyne is obviously long in the tooth. No longer a guaranteed starter.
No longer a guarantee.
Kovacic isn't in the position that we feel. He's not a 4 or a 6, depending what number you want to give him. And then Savinho, Omar Marmoush.
Marmoush, I thought, was poor in the game as well.
New to the
really
needs a
poor.
bit of time.
No, but I thought, the way he came in, he played against Chelsea. There was runs. He was trying to make runs against Chelsea. It looked lively against Chelsea. But against Arsenal,
Nothing.
I was looking and thinking, where's that liveliness? Where's those moves? What's this, it was nothing. Marmoush, it was nothing. But again, yes, he's new. He's young. Yes, let's give him that. Let's give him time. But I would have seen a little bit of those flashes of those things I saw against Chelsea, but I didn't see any of it. I thought Pep was going to hook him. I thought he was going to make the change in the, at halftime in the dressing room and bring in Kevin De Bruyne. But listen, it's just it's just what it is. But this City side, I think with this signing that they've done now, with bringing in another holding midfield player, I think this might bring a little bit of the stability in the team. It might, but also sometimes. We talk about this. In a football club, in a team, I remember back then when we used to be at Chelsea, when a top player gets injured, we look at him and think, oh, fucking hell, he's injured now. Shit, what's going to happen? Just automatically, subconsciously, it starts to play in our head as players. Because we're thinking, wow, this important player, he's massive for us, and now he's injured. How are we going to cope without him? Just subconsciously, it starts to play in your head as players, as a team, and you don't know it, but you start to lose confidence.
Yeah.
So for me, when City lost Rodri, I think that is something that must have played in those players' head and thinking, wow, this player is huge, it's massive for us. Because the decline is too much. It's huge.
It's been massive.
Those players can become bad players all of a sudden, overnight. Something must have gone into their head. Something. So I think now with this player coming in, with this midfield player coming in, I think it might just re-energize something in those players. Think, okay, you know what? Now we might look a little bit stable again. We might look as a team again, because Kevin De Bruyne is thinking now, okay, right now when I go on the games to play, I'm not thinking about running back too much to defend. I can focus more on trying to create chances and scoring goals. Gundogan is also thinking about arriving late in the box and scoring goals, not thinking about running back. They know they have somebody who can do that. So these are the things that sometimes play into players' head, and I think that's something that might have played. Listen, they're still winners; they've won everything, but I just think that's something that played in their heads, got into their brains a little bit. That Rodri miss would have affected the players.
Yeah. Now, I'm conscious, and I'm going to say this. I mean this as a compliment. That Chelsea team, you were nasty buggers, John. Right? You knew how to mix it. We saw after Arsenal scored the goal on Sunday, Gabriel go up to Haaland, celebrate, screaming his face. Yeah. We then saw the young boy, Miles Lewis, best player on the park, by the way. What a find he is.
He was good.
Celebrating in the Haaland celebration, that kind of zen-like pose. Of course, this all
I was dying on my TV. I was dying on my sofa watching that game.
You were?
I was dying. I was thinking, but were you fucking Arsenal. Jeez.
But were you
if anyone, not Arsenal.
Were you loving that? I've seen a lot of criticism for both. Where do you stand on this? Because, of course, remember, Erling Haaland, after the game at the Etihad Stadium, went up to Mikel Arteta and said to him, stay humble. Stay humble.
Yes, he did, yeah.
Which I, at the time, thought that's a bit much.
That's a bit much, yeah.
To go to an opposing manager.
Yeah.
So can you understand the reaction of the Arsenal players on Sunday? Or would you be like, lads, I can settle down a bit here?
Listen, I can understand from both sides. I think, obviously, what we all think that what Erling Haaland did, was a bit much. You can't say that to opposing manager.
Stay humble. It's a bit like, it was out of order.
Yeah, he can say whatever he wants. He can try to bully the Arsenal players. He can try to provoke players. He can try to, create a sort of uncomfortable situation for the players. But, saying something to the opposing manager, I don't think that was right. And I also think Erling Haaland will look back at that thinking, knowing that was a mistake. And I also think that's something that going into the game at the weekend sort of affected him. Yes, he scored the goal, but we didn't really see him. We didn't see him. He didn't have a kick. He didn't have a kick. And he came into the game. He was a bit more quiet. He was a bit more reserved. He went into his shelf. No, Ellen, it's still a fucking derby. It's still a fucking huge game. Yes, you said what you said, but that's gone.
Yeah.
Go into the game again. Try to bully the defenders. Try to show your physicality. You know what I mean? Say something to the players. You know what I mean? Yes, what you've said is gone.
You want him to go again?
I still wanted him. He was a bit too relaxed. He went into his shelf a bit too much. You know, he was so quiet during the game. It was like, okay, because of what I said last time, I don't want to provoke anybody. I don't want to do it. No. It is still a huge, huge game.
Yeah.
He still should have gone into tackles. He should have provoked, you know, looking at Gabriel do that, what he did at, on his face when he scored the goal. Exactly.
I did enjoy that though, because
exactly.
It was a day to remember for Arsenal fans and Arsenal players.
I don't know when they're going to be City 5-1 again. I don't think that will ever happen again.
I got to say this, I'm not a City fan, but I did enjoy Erling's response, which was to point to the Premier League badge to say, hey, we're the champions. It says champions here.
Yeah.
You've won the battle today, but over the last 4 seasons, we've won the war. So I did enjoy that little bit of needle. But I know you're not Arsenal's biggest fan, John, but you're telling me you loved a bit of Gabriel in his face.
I love a bit of that. I love a bit of that. Like, this is something we would have enjoyed. This would have been us. This is what we craved for. We craved for that. We craved for play, giving us a little bit, because that's where we stand up. That's where we go. That's where JT's like, come on, fucking hell, boys, let's go, because we're getting fucking bullied here. Yeah. Let's go. And everybody wakes up and everybody follows. He leads the way, we follow, everybody start, bullying people and stuff. Because we never got bullied. Because we bully people straight away from the tunnel. Before we went on the pitch, you looked at us, you're like, fuck me.
I would have loved, I'm saying this.
How am I going to bully these?
I think a lot of Chelsea fans would agree with me. I would have loved to have seen your Chelsea team against this City team.
Oh, mate.
Because they've got, you know it.
They can play. We'll let them play. But one thing we will 100% for sure win is that we will make sure we bully the fuck out of them. We'll make sure that's where we win. Because if we do that, we have a chance. We can't match them with the tiki-taka of Pep Guardiola and all that. But we'll make sure we roughen them up. We get in their faces. We tackle them. We scream at them. We do whatever we have to do to win.
Would you beat that City team, do you think, John?
Oh, the way they played. Listen, we were very powerful. We were very physical. Listen, whatever way you want it, we're there. We can play. We're very physical. We can tackle. We're dirty. Whatever you want, we can give it to you. We're a complete team.
I love the honesty.
We're a complete team. So for me, I don't know how it would have played out, because we'll let them have the ball. But when we have it, we can also play. And when we have to bully them, we can also bully them. So for me, it would have gone either way. So, it would have been, one thing for sure, it would have been a fucking interesting game, because you have José Mourinho on the side and Pep Guardiola. So there's fighting on the pitch, there's fighting on the touchline.
To City, to finish.
There's probably going to be fingers in the eyes.
Fingers in the eyes as well. There's all manner of things going on in that game. I would have paid good money to see that, because it was the two contrasting teams.
Very
you
different.
Boys, powerful. Yeah. Yes, you could play, but I would expect you to get into them, upset their flow.
Yeah.
And then City under Pep, we always know they stay true to their principles.
Yeah.
That would have been a great game. Who would have won it? Let us know. Comment, of course, on YouTube or whatever. You can leave comments with us on our social medias. In terms of City then, John, I know they're missing Rodri. I smell a rat, though. There's something not going right. There's something more than just Rodri.
I think a lot of people, I keep saying, a lot of people keep saying that there's something more. I personally, my point of view, I don't believe there's anything more.
It's just Rodri.
I think, because I watch City play. I like to watch City play. Apart from Chelsea, which is my club, I love to watch City play, the way they play. And when Rodri is there, the way he dictates the game, the way he makes everything goes through him. And the way he defends, he tackles. He's always at the edge of the box, trying to make sure, those crosses that come at the edge of the box, that he's there to intercept and everything. Now, when I see City concede, the goals they concede, even when Phil Foden gave that pass away, If Rodri was on that pitch, he would have been there.
Yeah.
There was nobody there to stop Partey to advance with the ball and took that shot. The closest person to him was John Stones, who was the center defender. There was no Kovacic. There was no, was it Gundogan or Silva or Kevin De Bruyne. If Rodri was there, that was his position because he knows how to read the game. A lot of people don't want to talk. People want to make up different stories. There is no different stories. I believe it is Rodri. That's what I believe. 80%, 90% is down to Rodri. Because everything went through him. Even when they're not playing well, when they're losing game, he sort of goes, takes the game by the scruff of his neck, and he goes, and he goes, and he gets... How many times did he score big goals in big games?
He scored the Champions League.
Champions League goal, he scored. How many times in the last minute, he comes up with a worldie, he comes up with a goal, and City win 2-1, 3-1. How many times?
Yeah, he's done that a lot.
Last season. I believe those players do not become bad players overnight. It's 6 months. They cannot become bad players just like that. It's impossible. And Pep Guardiola cannot become a bad manager in 6 months. It's impossible.
No, he hasn't.
It's impossible.
You're
Does
right.
he still have the hunger in him? Yes, we can see that. He still has the hunger in him. But I believe, this is my point of view. Everybody has their opinion. I've said it when I say sometimes Andy Gray and Richard Keys, they don't like me saying it because they want me to come up with a different answers.
John,
they want me exactly. No, there is not.
It's Rodri.
It is Rodri.
And
I'll keep saying it. It is Rodri.
Fine. It's Rodri. It's nothing to do with 115 charges. That's off the pitch. It's nothing to do with Pep's marital woes. That's Pep's issues. It's down to Rodri on the pitch. I'm going to talk very quickly before we wrap up this edition of Taking the Mikel. Mo Salah, Liverpool at the weekend. It was arguably the fixture of the weekend outside of Arsenal City.
Yeah.
Liverpool go to Bournemouth, unbeaten since November 23rd. They win 2-0. Mo scores twice. It's now 21 goals in 23 Premier League games with 13 assists this season.
Unbelievable.
And I don't know if you know this, but his 2 goals at the weekend, John, he's now ahead of Frank Lampard in the all-time Premier League goal scorers list. He's now just 4 goals behind Sergio Aguero. If he gets past Aguero, he becomes the biggest, the most scoring foreigner in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And
4 goals is easy for him. He's going to do it.
He's going to do that. I think he's 9 behind Andy Cole to get into the 4th on the all-time list. I'm going to say this on this pod.
No, he's not going to break Alan Shearer's record.
I wasn't going to say that. I wasn't going to say that.
He needs what? About another 5 seasons?
No, he needs 82 more goals. Shearer's record's 260. Salah's on 178. What I am going to say to you though is, you're not going to agree with this, but I'm going to say it anyway. If Mo signs a new deal and continues going with the way that he's going, he's going to become the greatest Premier League player of all time.
Oh, that's huge.
I think he is, John. His numbers are off the charts.
Numbers, yes. Number-wise, yes. Number-wise, yes.
He's already top 10 for assists as well, by the way.
Number-wise, yes. Numbers-wise, yes. But when you want to talk about a complete...
I knew this would piss you off.
No, I wouldn't. Listen, I'm a huge fan of Mo. Mo is my friend. Mo, I played with Mo. I know Mo really well. He's, back in the day when he was at Chelsea.
He's a very different Mo.
He's a very different Mo. He's a Mo that I don't recognize right now. Because he has a bit of, he has so much going on with him right now. He's so much confident. He's physically looks stronger. Mentally looks also stronger as well. He doesn't look like a player you can bully back in the day. And we used to bully him in training. You know what I mean? You kick him once, he runs away. He doesn't look like that player anymore. So for me, it's a very, very totally different Mo. But the greatest player that's ever played in the Premier League.
I think if he signs another deal and has another 2-3 years.
That's huge.
And I'm saying this as a United fan. Obviously, John, I know the caveat.
The numbers are there to back it.
He needs to win, certainly the Premier League this season. He might need to add another one. But his numbers and his consistency since joining Liverpool have been unlike anything.
I'm finding it hard, though, to believe that is going to be a player that I will look at and say...
He's the best the Premier League's ever had.
Apart from Thierry Henry.
Thierry Henry, the best for you?
The best. The best player that's played in the Premier League is Thierry Henry.
Yeah, but...
Oh, my God. Everything he had. there was a period, it was 2-3 years.
Yeah,
he
the
absolutely dominated the Premier League. He had everything. He was so good on the ball. He was quick. He was strong. He had every fucking thing a player needs. Everything. When I look at Mona, quick, yes. It's more very technical on the ball. Not so much.
He's better than what you...
He's better than what he used to, but he's not great. He's not great technically. He's not really great technically.
Which makes it even
but
more
he has the numbers.
John.
Yeah, I know. He has the numbers. He has the numbers to back him up there. Listen, I wouldn't disagree with you, but for me, my opinion, I'm a huge fan of Mo. I love Mo. He's my boy. He's my friend. I love Mo. I just find it hard to believe that Thierry Henry is going to be another player that I will look at and say, as a complete footballer that's ever played in the Premier League, that I'm going to put above Thierry Henry. But again, there's another stat I saw the other day. I think when it comes to this thing, I think Didier Drogba is very, very much underrated when we talk about the greatest players that has ever played in the Premier League. When you talk about numbers and when you talk about trophies, check how many goals Didier Drogba has scored in the finals to win us trophies. How many goals has he scored? And that's
Champions League final.
Champions League final.
FA Cup final.
Cups, how many?
Everton, he scored, didn't he? Scored against United at the new Wembley, 1-0. So that's 3 straight off the bat. He scored in the League Cup against Tottenham, didn't he? Take this point. He's scoring in big games.
Big games. Big games that won us trophies. And that's something, when you talk about all these strikers, talk about all these players, who has that record? Who has that number that Didier Drogba has? Scoring in big games. Games that won us major, major trophies.
But, John, he wasn't the Salah numbers
season
after season after season.
Yes, he wasn't. But
trophies, yeah.
Trophies wins you.
I get it. And listen, anyone listening or watching this will be shouting, saying, hey, listen, Chris, Mo needs to win more.
He needs to win more.
He's won one
He
Premier
needs
League.
to win more. I can agree with everybody who makes that argument.
And
he needs to win more.
That.
Yes, the numbers are there to back it up. But he needs to win more. He's only won what? The Premier League and the Champions League.
What else did they win under Jurgen? FA Cup. League Cup.
He needs to win more. That's not enough for a player who will say he's the greatest player that's ever played in the Premier League. His numbers are there. His numbers are mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. But when you look at the records of consistency, yes. When you look at the goals that Didier Drogba has scored in big games, in big finals, it's unbelievable, those stats. It's unbelievable. And it's very, very much underrated. A lot of people don't talk about it. But yes, definitely more will be in that conversation for sure. So with the way he's going, he's already there. He just needs to now, if he signs another contract, he will break so many records.
And I can tell what's going to happen right now. The Ronaldo fans are going to be peppering the comments section. The reason Ronaldo is, we're talking about the greatest, what they did in the Premier League.
In the Premier League,
Ronaldo was great for 6 seasons with United, but it was at Real Madrid.
In Real Madrid, that's where he became Cristiano Ronaldo.
The Cristiano Ronaldo that we know. Speaking of Ronaldo, I want to finish the pod today.
Oh, don't get me started.
An amazing stuff for you. He's turning 40 this week. We'll wish him my early happy birthday to Cristiano. Yes. What did I read today before the pod? He has scored, wait for this stat, John, 460 goals since turning 30.
Unbelievable.
That is mind-blowing.
Unbelievable.
That's mind-blowing. That's 46 goals a season.
Unbelievable.
He's averaging, or a year.
Listen, I've said it. We've all said it. You cannot take away what Cristiano Ronaldo has done. What Cristiano Ronaldo has done in football, you cannot. You will be stupid. You will be mad. You must be smoking something. I don't know what you're smoking. If you will take away what Cristiano Ronaldo has done for football, you'll be crazy.
Yeah.
Certainly, I know I haven't. I haven't, and I will never. And when people ask me, what they always ask me, I am entitled to have my opinion.
Of course.
And that's my opinion. It's mind-blowing what the guy is doing, and he's still doing. You know, it doesn't matter. People say he plays now in Saudi Arabia. Yes, Saudi Arabia is still a league. Yeah. He still has to score the goals. He still has to score the goals, but he needs to win a trophy at Saudi Arabia. He needs to win a trophy. He hasn't won a trophy yet, but his numbers are crazy, insane. And he's going to turn 40, and he's still going. So for me, It's mind blowing. But again, I come back, you ask me, I have same answer for you.
I'm not going to ask it. I know that answer. Victor
That's my opinion. My opinion is my opinion.
Friend of the podcast, Victor Boniface, also close to becoming his teammate. That move did not go through, and it was in the end John Duran.
I think they're trying everything to make him win a trophy, haven't they? They brought in John Duran.
I mean,
because
they want Ronnie to be lifting something.
They want him to win a trophy.
They have to. They have to.
They're laying the foundation. They're bringing everybody in. We have to make it work.
God, please help him win a trophy.
Who do you need? Let's get him. We'll bring him in.
I think they might try and sign Mike Messi next. That might be the next one. Right, it's in the can. They're taking the Mikel, John. Always great to catch up with you.
Always amazing to go through, what has been happening, in the world of football, and that's why, taking the Mikel is, it's what it is. We honest, we say what it is, and we just have to keep going.
I love it, John. So I do. Right, taking the Mikel in the can. Do stay tuned to the Obi-Wan podcast, made possible, of course, by BetWinner. Some monster names coming.
Yes.
The cat is out the bag on a few of them. José Mourinho upcoming. We've got Victor Osimhen. We've got a few other surprises for you in this.
We have a lot coming.
We've got a lot.
I think season 3 is going to be fire.
It's going to be fire.
Is going to be up there, I think.
No doubt about it, Johnny.
Definitely.
You keep doing what you're doing. Rest those hamstrings. You've got an ankle injury as well. He's a broken man, is John Obi Mikel, after that charity match. But we'll be back. And don't forget to subscribe to the Obi-Wan podcast. Season 3 is imminent. Some monster names. I've let the cat out of the bag. José Mourinho, Victor Osimhen. They are 2 of many.
Yes.
Do subscribe. It is the Obi-Wan podcast, made possible by BetWinner.